Have you ever felt like the closer you get to your partner, the more they pull away? One moment, everything feels connected. The conversation flows. You feel emotionally close. And then, almost out of nowhere, they become distant. Replies get shorter, affection fades. They suddenly need space. And you're left asking yourself the same question again and again. Did I do something wrong? Stay with me, because one of these signs, especially the last one, explains why so many relationships slowly fall apart, even when there is real love underneath. Avoidant attachment is often misunderstood. People assume it means someone doesn't care or isn't capable of love, but that's not true. Avoidant attachment is about feeling overwhelmed by emotional closeness, even when you want connection. It's about a nervous system that associates intimacy with pressure, loss of control, or emotional risk. If you've ever felt like you're doing most of the emotional work in your relationship, this will help you understand what's really happening and how not to accidentally push your partner further away. The first sign is one of the most confusing. They pull away after emotional closeness. Everything feels good. You share something meaningful. You talk about feelings, dreams, or fears, and for a moment, you feel truly close. Then, shortly after, something changes. They become quieter. They respond slower. They seem emotionally unavailable. This isn't because the moment meant nothing. For someone with avoidant attachment, emotional closeness activates stress instead of comfort. Intimacy can feel like pressure, even if they genuinely enjoyed it. Their nervous system associates closeness as something that might lead to obligation, loss of independence, or emotional overwhelm. What usually happens next is where the cycle begins. The other partner feels the distance and panics. They reach out more. They ask what's wrong. They try to reconnect quickly. But to an avoidant partner, that response feels like more pressure. If you don't want to push them away, resist the urge to chase right after closeness. Let emotional moments breathe. For avoidant partners, connection needs time to settle, not immediate follow-ups, explanations, or emotional processing. The second sign is how they respond during conflict. They shut down. When something uncomfortable comes up, they don't argue, they don't yell, they go quiet. They say they don't want to talk about it, they change the subject, or they emotionally disappear. This isn't emotional maturity, it's emotional overload. Many avoidant partners learned early in life that emotions led to criticism, rejection, or feeling trapped, so shutting down became a survival strategy. Their nervous system is trying to protect them, not sabotage the relationship. The mistake most people make is pushing harder in these moments. They demand answers. They want resolution right away. They escalate the conversation emotionally, and that usually causes the avoidant partner to withdraw even more. If you want to avoid pushing them away, try signaling safety instead of urgency. You can say something like, "I don't want to fight. Let's talk about this later when we're both calmer." That small shift can make a big difference. The third sign is subtle, but very powerful. They minimize emotional needs, yours and theirs. You express how you feel, and they respond with logic. You talk about emotional distance, and they say you're overthinking. Avoidant partners often downplay emotions, not because emotions don't matter, but because emotions feel unsafe to explore. They learn to survive by being self-sufficient, rational, and emotionally contained. From their perspective, emotions feel unpredictable and overwhelming. If you try to argue your feelings into existence, the conversation usually shuts down. Instead of saying, "You never open up," try saying, "When we don't talk about feelings, I feel disconnected." That shifts the focus from blame to experience, which feels less threatening. The fourth sign is how strongly they value independence. They pride themselves on not needing anyone. They handle problems alone. They resist relying on others, even you. To them, dependence feels like weakness or loss of control. But here's the paradox. Avoidant partners do want connection. They just want it without feeling consumed by it.
If you want to stay close without pushing them away, respect their independence without emotionally withdrawing yourself. You can say something like, "I value our connection, and I also respect your space." That balance, connection without pressure, is essential. Now we get to the most misunderstood sign. They struggle to express love consistently. They may not say how they feel often, they might avoid emotional conversations, they may seem emotionally guarded, but they often show love in actions. They show up when needed, they help solve problems, they stay consistent in practical ways. Avoidant attachment is not a lack of love, it's a fear of emotional dependence. When you pressure them to express love the way you do, they often retreat further. Instead, notice how they show care and acknowledge it. Feeling seen for how they love makes emotional openness feel safer. This dynamic becomes painful because both partners are trying to feel safe in opposite ways. Anxious partners move towards connection. Avoidant partners move away from it. Both are responding to fear, not lack of love. And unless this cycle is understood, it repeats until exhaustion replaces intimacy. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You cannot heal avoidant attachment by loving harder. You heal it by creating emotional safety, not pressure. That means calm communication instead of emotional urgency, respecting space without abandoning yourself, and knowing when to stop carrying the emotional load alone. And just as important, knowing when a relationship is costing you your emotional health. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. Avoidant attachment is incredibly common and deeply misunderstood. It's not a flaw, and neither is needing closeness. The goal isn't to fix your partner, it's to understand the pattern, protect your emotional well-being, and choose what's healthy for you. And if loving someone has ever felt confusing or painful, now you know it wasn't your imagination.